are two ways to see the world. One, by living a life and believing that there are no miracles. And two, believing that everything around them is a miracle. Everyone here has already experienced a miracle, whether they know it or not. Hello, ladies and gentlemen and honorable judges. My name is Elana C. Before I begin, I have a question for you. Have you heard this before? If not, it's said by a man who discovered and invented vaccine for computer viruses and who is now trying to become a politician. His name is An철수. When he was young, he was a particular kid. Instead of playing with his friends, he preferred going to library. Because of that, his parents had lots of expectation for him. However, he didn't do well at school. But everything changed when he went to high school. All the knowledge that he earned from the book that he read was becoming noticeable. Starting then, everything turned out great, and he kept up his grade until he graduated. So he became one of the top students at school. When he graduated, he got into a medical school in Seoul University, which is one of the most prestigious universities in Korea. That's when he became curious about the computer viruses. So he was determined to learn about them. In university, he read an article about the first viruses found in Korea. He learned that the first virus was found in Pakistan. By the way, the virus was not copied. It was created by two brothers who got mad at people who were illegally copied their program they made for a computer store they opened, and they were forced to close. So these two brothers used the money that was left and make a copying store to take revenge on the others. And that was the beginning of the computer viruses. At that time, people had no knowledge about the computer viruses, so no one knew the cause or the beginning of the computer viruses. Surprisingly, An철수 first met the virus when he just finished learning the basic knowledge about the computer language. Even then, he had no reason to figure out the solution for the computer viruses. However, someone he met at school had contacted him to ask the medication for the computer viruses, and that night he started to research the solution. After all his effort and time, he thought of the solution on June 10, 1988. His idea was go back to the beginning and do the opposite way that the inventor has done. And this antivirus called it vaccine. This is primary version of V3 named V1. Some of you might have a question on me for what I'm saying, because the first virus was thought to have been made by the Americans. However, the vaccine V1 made in the States was invented a year after An철수 made his. So many people came to him for help when they heard that the virus could be cured. He was a surgeon during the day and a vaccine inventor at night for 7 years. After all that the time had come for him, he decided to choose which job he wanted to do. Computer viruses were then becoming something that he couldn't handle by himself because it was increasing twice as much every year. And also he thought that it was unfair to his students he taught when he became a medical professor that he was doing something else secretly. So after thinking for half a year, he decided to give up being a doctor and choose something he was good at and something he enjoyed, which is working with the computer vaccines. An철수 wasn't the kind of person who sought money. He was a real leader who knew that he wanted to do and wanted to be a person who meant something to others. When he was a doctor, he cured people's illnesses, and when he was a vaccine inventor, he cured computer viruses. And now, as a politician, he's trying to understand others and curing people's mind illness that they get from social issues. I guess this is why people call him Happy Virus. Thank you for listening.